So I've been a longtime fan of watching conservatives throw tantrums over movies that have too many black people in them. They get really mad and I find it very funny. This is a very consistent genre. It happens a couple times a year and then they'll supplement it with I don't know, that movie about Army Hammer that just came out that's just him killing immigrants for an hour and a half and they're like, this is cinema. It's not. There's perhaps no better example of this than Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. They were up in arms. Suddenly, everyone's a fucking historian, a cultural preservationist. They're like, we just really need to study history. And also, I have questions about the Holocaust. There was a shit ton of controversy leading up to The Odyssey's release. And I'll admit, I had some doubts too. I just didn't think it looked that good. The trailers didn't really grab me. And yeah, I was worried that it was going to be Mr. Nolan's first bad film. And I can tell you right now, it is not. I saw it last night in 70 millimeter IMAX, no less. Somehow my friend scored tickets to it a year ago. And yeah, it was fucking awesome. It's so epic. It's such a spectacle. It's not flawless. It definitely continues this pattern of a tortured genius stranded at sea or in space or in a dream trying to get back to his family. And also none of these people ever have a solid perception of time, and then they start to forget their friends and family. I'm kind of worried that Chris Nolan has Alzheimer's running in his family or something. Point being, there's plenty of valid critiques of this movie, but as usual, conservatives missed the mark by miles and just online riots have ensued over complete non-issues. And I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole today and I found one video in particular that I thought would be fun to go through. This creator is part of a cohort of MAGA girlies who do not know a goddamn thing about film. Despite that, they feel the need to loudly and consistently insert themselves into that arena, just really taking Hollywood by the horns. And the person I'm talking about is, of course, the one and only Blair White. Miss Ma'am saw the trailer for The Odyssey and she did not like what she saw. Okay, what she saw was that they are erasing history. And as a passionate advocate for historical accuracy,
they really do find through ancient dark science that through trauma you can develop extrasensory abilities.
She has some things to say.
They should change the name of The Odyssey to The Audacity.
Oh, burned! Step aside, Jeff Ross. There is a new roast master in town.
They have blacked and transed The Odyssey.
Oh my, oh my.
This movie is, I was going to say woke as hell. It's woke from hell. It's that bad. It's the ultimate DEI political narrative, psyoped ass. It's the worst version of this they could have made.
This movie is fucking disgusting. I mean, there's black people, there's a trans person. To what end, Mr. Nolan?
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of upset with the people. Boycott is a strong word. I'm not someone who really does that, but it's more shockingly bad than you would think.
I'm sorry, has she seen this movie?
Here are the basic reasons why people are upset. There are no Greek actors in this movie about Greek mythology.
Oh, tragic. When will we stop oppressing the Greeks? Defending the marginalized is very important, and it's a cause that the right is notoriously passionate about. I bet the Greeks are really grateful. Let's see what they have to say. The leading newspaper in Athens was fuming. Here's what they said. Nolan has met a Homeric challenge, fusing an epic that has echoed across the centuries with postmodern artistic sensibilities. Scathing. There's more. Greece's Minister of Culture. We should have one of those, and it should be Cola Scola. She said, "It is not the state's role to dictate to a creator how they should artistically interpret a work or myth. Can we seriously be having a conversation about whether the state should censor Christopher Nolan?" Yeah, so they don't care. They're fine with it. And the thing is, Blair and the right in general don't give a fuck about this either, okay? This is all bullshit. This is them reaching for seemingly virtuous reasons to stand against this movie. Let's get to problem 2, which is at least a little bit more honest.
The second reason is that they are race swapping, which is something very popular in Hollywood these days, which only goes one way.
Oh, does it now? In the 2000s alone, there are dozens, maybe hundreds examples of white actors taking on the role of a character who's very clearly a person of color. Oftentimes these are real stories and real people where this is happening. Obviously more consequential than fucking Lupita Nyong'o playing a person who wasn't even real. And I'm no crusader for this cause, Ben Affleck in Argo is incredible. And unfortunately, I was very down for Jacob Elordi in Wuthering Heights. But it is a problem. To say that it's only one way, shut the fuck up, Blair. And she knows that it's not true. I don't think her audience does, but she knows that what she's saying is not true. And she is just intentionally erasing whatever she needs to create her story.
This is actually causing a lot of Greeks to speak out.
Okay, no, it's not.
Imagine if this was about, ancient African gods, the African old gods, pantheon, whatever. and he just didn't have any black actor, like that would be pretty egregious.
This is an argument that conservatives make all the time, and it's really funny. Like, hey, well, what if I did that to a black person? That wouldn't be fair. Or, hey, what if I said all women are trash? Or, how would you gays feel if we did a straight pride parade? Trying to pull like an Uno reverse, like, ooh, gotcha, just by swapping out races, gender, sexual orientation does not come across as an intelligent argument. All of these groups have vastly different histories and culture and lived experiences, and they all exist on a social hierarchy where historically and currently the people at the top commit gross abuses of power and worse. So no, it's not the same when a black person takes on a white role versus when a white person takes on a black role. It's not the same at all. It's just not. The sun has set, but I have not. I keep going. I weather the storm. I'm basically Odysseus. Let's see what she says next.
So let's take a look at how egregious this is. You have Lupita Nyong'o playing Helen of Troy,
She's so mad.
who was described as so beautiful that wars would erupt simply over her beauty. And I'm not trying to be mean, and I'm trying to be very fair in this, by the way. Would wars really erupt over her beauty? You be the judge.
Listen, I am not trying to be mean, and I am trying to be very fair in this, by the way. That woman is fucking chopped, and if wars erupted over her, I don't really know what to say. Maybe the wars were over who didn't have to marry her, or who could get the farthest away from her in the quickest amount of time. I know that would be a competition I would be interested in. It would be life or death for me. It's just hard seeing people that look like that.
And as is the case with so many movies these days, the actors have to go and make it this huge political thing too, and just really turn people off from the movie.
Yeah, people are super turned off by this movie. It made $264 million this weekend. That is a personal record for Christopher Nolan. It is Universal Pictures' biggest opening weekend for a movie they released in July, which, do you know how many fucking blockbusters they've released in July? And I'm sure it'll break more as time goes on, but yeah, people hate this movie.
You have Zendaya as Athena.
The hottest, most sought-after actress on the planet right now, playing a Greek goddess in the biggest blockbuster of the year. I'm just wondering where we draw the line, because this is unacceptable.
This is a screen grab from the Odyssey trailer. I'm trying to be fair.
Okay, you might have kind of gotten away with that whole comparison thing with Lupita, because she is pretty down bad for a lot of the movie. But acting like Zendaya doesn't look absolutely snatched in this, or in literally any screen cap of her ever, don't fuck with me, Blair.
If you don't see it as insulting or as a big deal, please just race swap, just like they are, the scenario in your mind and ask yourself, if we were to go make a movie about African pantheons of gods and they were all played by white people.
This just at this point sounds like a movie she's pitched that won't get greenlit. She keeps bringing up the same concept of a movie of African pantheon gods played by white people. I sense that there's a script in the air. Go fucking make the movie, Blair. See what people say. I just can't get over that she keeps bringing the same premise up. There is a movie written.
Then we get to Elliot Page.
So dramatic. The fucking eyes closed. And then we get to a trans person in a movie.
Our friend here is causing a lot of controversy because he's playing Sinan, which is a warrior. But how tall is Elliot Page? Damn, Elliot Page is 5'1".
Okay, how tall is this fucking shrimp? Because he looks like a leprechaun. He looks like he's 6 inches. Elliot Page would tower over this man. It looks like I could hold this thing in the palm of my hand and he would like do a little jig for me.
And here's my whole thing on the Elliot Page. I'm not upset that there's a trans, actor playing a character.
Oh, yes, you are.
It becomes shoehorned by the fact that Sinan is not even in the Odyssey.
Okay, she's right. Sinan wasn't in the Odyssey. You know what else wasn't? 90% of the Trojan horse story. This whole plot line with the Trojan horse and Sinan, who is barely in the movie. Elliot Page has like 5 minutes of screen time. Both of those things come from a completely different story written 700 years later called the Aeneid. It's some poem or scroll. I'm sure it was also a nightmare to get through. But yeah, completely different story that Christopher Nolan incorporated into his version of the Odyssey, which he's allowed to do.
So you're shoehorning a character from a different story into the Odyssey to make room for Elliot Page, so then it becomes an insertion of a role and a job given, an actor hired.
Yeah. The Battle of Troy, the Trojan horse, all of that was shoehorned in to make room for Elliot Page to have 5 minutes of screen time. All hail Elliot Page, everyone. God, Blair White is fucking trash.
And you know what's so crazy? I'm going to drop some knowledge on you in a second too, so just be prepared because I didn't know this till recently. But here's how you could have put Elliot Page in the movie as a trans actor and actually had it fit.
Okay, buckle up for this because this is so fucked.
There is, as part of the Greek pantheon of deities, someone named Hermaphroditus. Hermaphroditus was a deity whose father was Hermes and mother was Aphrodite. He was physically transformed into being intersex, possessing both male and female traits. Hermaphroditus is not part of the Odyssey, the story, but neither is Sinon.
Neither is the Trojan horse.
If you're gonna write someone in for Elliot Page regardless, I don't know, you could have wrote in an actual deity.
Do you know how mad conservatives would be if the Odyssey came out and there was a section of Elliot Page being... There was a section of Elliot Page being depicted as a transgender deity. There would be riots. That would actually be like somewhat of a political statement. And look at what happened at Christopher Nolan just casting him as a normal person, a fucking low-level warrior. That people freaked out. I cannot imagine how bad it would have been if he actually went this route that Blair is suggesting. They go to one island and like fucking Elliot Page levitates out of a volcano and starts fucking sending hellfire down on them. Oh my God, that's not what you want, Blair.
But they don't care enough about Greek mythology.
Blair White, the fucking queen of Greek mythology, everybody. Okay, blah, blah, blah. We go through some more actors. She's now upset that there's Indians and Mexicans in this movie.
Why not just hire a blonde person? Why does it have to be a Mexican?
And then we get to Travis Scott.
And then you have Travis Scott, who, you know, I still don't like for offing all those people.
Okay, some common ground.
In what was probably a ritual.
All right, never mind. Just after the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I almost kind of get that as an artistic choice because he's like a rapper, but not for this movie. It's a serious movie.
This movie with a Cyclops, mermaids, Zeus, Hades, a witch in the mountains that turns people into pigs is very serious, and I will not have it be made a mockery of.
So Elon Musk was...
Absolutely not. Okay, I'm not doing this tonight. We will deal with him in the morning. Okay, it's the next day. I have my mingle mood, and I think I'm ready to take on the inevitability of Elon once again positioning himself in the center of a situation he knows nothing about, and like actively trying to weaponize algorithms into getting people to not see this movie. Like conservatives try to cancel people more than any other group I know of. And when it's like some random queer person on Tumblr or a teacher at a school in the Midwest, it works. They're very effective at that. But fucking Christopher Nolan, good luck, Elon. You are out of your depth.
So Elon Musk was tweeting,
Fork found in kitchen.
Chris Nolan desecrated the Odyssey, says Elon, so that he would be eligible for an Academy Award.
What are you talking about? Christopher Nolan did do a lot of things with the Odyssey that makes it eligible for an Academy Award. This movie is going to get a shit ton of nominations, and it's not going to be because Elliot Page was on screen for 2 seconds.
Shame on Chris Nolan for desecrating Homer. He will never live it down. Chris Nolan has shown total contempt for the Greek people. I think that's fair.
The Greeks certainly don't seem to feel disrespected. It seems like they're excited that such a prestigious director is giving a new voice to this classic story and like reawakening it in a way that has not been in my lifetime. I remember like we dreaded having to read the Odyssey, and now like the entire world is excited about it. Except for Elon and his mouth breathers, which, if anything, I bet the Greeks would feel disrespected about that this man is making rounds trying to recruit people to not see this movie. Blair said she wanted to boycott it. Like, which one do you think is more disrespectful to a group of people? If Homer were alive today, I have trouble believing that he would be hand in hand with Elon ranting online about how there's too many black people. I bet he would be excited that his story is selling out theaters across the globe, but you know, who knows? Wait, now that the movie's out, I want to see what Elon and Blair are saying about this. Oh, nothing? He has nothing to say. Interesting. I actually thought that his Twitter would be rampant with Odyssey content, but I guess he knows that he got humiliated and his little crusade was a failure on all fronts. So what else could you do besides shut the fuck up? Hi, editing me here. So he broke his silence today. He posted that he will be making a full-length AI-generated version of the Odyssey. Mark your calendars, everyone. Homer was rolling in his grave, Now he can finally rest. And Blair doesn't have anything to say either. This is a regular thing for her, so I'm not surprised.
What would your opinion be if we did Wakanda 2 and it was all white people?
This is just what her pitch meetings sound like.
I have no problem respecting characters that are written as black, and I don't think those characters should be turned white, Asian, Latino, or anything else.
Well, that happens all the time, Blair, and it's been crickets from you.
I just think the same for white people, that's all.
I just think the same for white people, that's all. That's all. It is only a matter of time before she is caught in 4K, like preventing a black person from getting into his own building.
Here's an idea, just make black characters.
They did. They made Helen of Troy black. Deal with it.
And just so you know, I'm not screaming into a void here myself. Here's some comments from people across different YouTube videos who do agree with me. The past was erased. The erasure was forgotten. The lie became truth. Orwell.
Oh my God. When the right, and they do this all the time, when the right cites some thought leader as if they would be on their side is like my favorite thing ever. Like, yes, George Orwell, the democratic socialist who spent his life fighting against and writing about right-wing propaganda and authoritarianism, he would agree that there's too many black people in the Odyssey. It's awesome. This next part is so fucking funny.
This is absolutely one of the most beautiful quotes I've ever seen as someone who actually studies history.
As someone who actually studies history.
All I kind of do is stay inside and research, and history is one of the main things I research.
Is it? Because you've referenced a lot of history in this video and gotten every single thing wrong.
I love looking for hidden history, especially looking for the things that we're lied to about, which is so many of them.
Oh, so she's just scouring fringe threads on Twitter and like watching Joe Rogan. Cool. That research.
And it's all these white characters turned black. Like, yes, this is Orwellian. This is history erasure. That's how you erase a people. I'm sorry.
So we're just in full-blown great replacement theory territory now. You know, this idea that changes in demographics and, you know, more variety and representation in media means that there's some secret scheming cabal with the goal of eradicating white people. God, I fucking hate conspiracy theorists. The fall of people like Ben Shapiro and the rise of people like Blair White is so fascinating to me because it's like there has been a decline in interest in listening to like well-read, educated people. Like, say what you will about Ben Shapiro, but that man knows his shit. Now we have people like Blair White who are getting more views than Ben now, who just spew nonsense. And people want it. And I don't know which one is more dangerous, but it's quite fascinating to watch.
It is what it is. And you can call that a racist trope.
It is.
You can call that replacement theory.
Yep, that's what it is.
I don't care because the truth is always, stigmatized in the moment. It is what it is.
Okay, this next part is wild because she very aptly and very dramatically describes how countries arrive at administrations that we currently have. And if that's what she was talking about, the drama would be warranted. But it's about minorities starring in a movie.
No one admits it's happening when it happens. It's always something we have to look back at in retrospect and be like, wow, that was really egregious. How did we sit by and watch that happen? Because it's slow, but it's the, erosion of structures in history.
You would think she's talking about the fucking Holocaust or something, but no, it is about a trans person being in a movie with a Cyclops. A trans actor. You are mad that a trans actor is doing his job. There's always this apocalyptic tone when these things happen. Like anytime a Disney princess is played by a person of color, just all hell breaks loose. Tucker Carlson not being able to jerk off to the green M&M anymore, that was a big one. That was actually a huge issue.
If Nolan ever gets a biography, Oprah should play him. Right, see how it feels.
I don't think anyone would care. That would just be really, really, really weird.
Hollywood still continuing to do this is evident that it's really actually not about the money, I don't think. Like a lot of people are like, why do they keep doing this despite the fact that their movies are getting boycotted, they're making less money? That kind of goes to show you it's deeper than money for them, which I think should have everyone questioning what is the agenda here? What is the play? I actually think it's very nefarious and very scary that it doesn't matter to them how much money they lose doing it. It's that important to them. So
it's so hard to dismantle these things because we are now in a place just completely untethered from reality. And in order to get there, she had to lie about a million different things, either directly or lied by omission.
Do you want white people to be erased or do you not?
I'm sorry this movie upset you so much, Blair. I'm sorry that Sydney Sweeney wasn't playing every single character and it wasn't written by Elon Musk and it wasn't directed by some from a disgraced rapist director. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. We are in a new era of right-wing commentary, and it involves zero research, zero due diligence. Before a movie even comes out, they're going on rants about great replacement theory. You know, just like uninhibited, blatant, disgusting lies and racism. And it's entertaining, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss the era of Ben Shapiro and his little notebook going into Barbie, soaking it all in. Like, you know, he was locked in, taking notes the entire time. And then he compiled an argument and said his piece. And that is exactly what Benny Boy did with the Odyssey. Let's take a look.
Critics of the film from the right are upset about woke casting and literary inaccuracies. I think they are committing a gigantic self-own in the process. The Odyssey was never going to underperform. It was never going to underperform. It is a star-studded epic directed by Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan can open a movie. Period.
He's so impassioned. The Odyssey was never going to underperform.
If you thought people were not going to go see the Odyssey because, like you, they were very, very mad that Lupita Nyong'o was cast for 3 minutes total screen time as Helen of Troy.
Exactly. And the thing is, he still hits all the right-wing talking points. Look.
It has an inherently biblical message.
Traditional Christian values. Check.
Idiotic, and it is idiotic, casting of Elliot Page. And I call her Elliot Page because you can legally change her name. You can't legally change your sex.
Intentionally misgendering a trans person. Check. There's more. This video is getting way too long. But point being, he still analyzes the film from an alt-right framework. And it's not enough to them. It's not enough. This video has 50% dislikes. His official review, which has more views than he's gotten in a long time, has almost 9,000 dislikes, which is also about half. Like, people hate it. I really think a part of it is that he is incredibly intelligent and well-researched, and people aren't interested in that anymore. They are not interested in a Harvard grad intellectualizing bigotry to them. They just want an actual open bigot with a degree in Mein Kampf. The tides are turning. Which style of conservative media analysis is more damaging? We'll see. Which version do I personally get more kicks out of? This new version is definitely much more of a spectacle. It plays a lot better for shock value. It's actually Orwellian. Blair, learn what words mean. I will really miss Ben's journalistic integrity, okay? That photo of him outside Barbie with his notepad changed me on a genetic level. I think it's his theater roots that allow him to look camp right in the eye, and that is an X factor that Blair and Elon will simply never be able to bring to the table. Anyways, that's really all I have to say. Go see the Odyssey. I am very excited for this next video. It is not a rant. There is a script. It is a walkthrough of a very fun, very silly, very important movie from my childhood. So yeah, stay tuned, like and subscribe, and I will see you then.